I totally agree. B, I would say I defer to your expertise. Like I feel like I understand the basics and why we need it, right? So A, in terms of building the strong relationships, B, the tools that we have introduced since, stuff that I would normally say,
Yeah.
maybe, or do we really have to spend on this? But you can see how it's very, very essential in A, not just, reviewing the funnels that you guys have created, or how each customer can be taken care of, from lead to handoff to everything. But you also mentioned data driven, which is, you know, yeah, I understand. But honestly, the data driven approach is such a game changer for smart scaling. Like, exactly what to target. Exactly. I'm saying words that I heard during meetings, but they're not coming from me. But what does our team, Virtuous marketing team, how do we use data to guide our decisions? Like in your case, how do you use it, and what are your examples of this being done to get results?
With data, you always learn something new when you dig into it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of making assumptions, we let the numbers tell us where we need to improve or pivot. So at Virtua, we check our numbers on a monthly basis and measure it against the target. So for example, right now, we want to increase our website traffic at least 20% month on month. So we did some calculations, formula on Google Sheets or Excel to project whether we'll hit that target number or not. So when we found out, or when we find out that we're not able to do so, if we're doing what we're doing, right? So if we keep on doing these things or maintain the status quo, we're not going to hit the target. So the whole team brainstormed and discussed what else we can do to hit that number in the next month. So this is where the thing that I mentioned, the space for grace, comes in. So
Mm-hmm.
when we try to pivot, because the data is telling us to do so, there always has to have some breathing room, in terms of being able to change the tactics, change the content, change the messaging, change the approach. So that all of that pivot, all of that changes comes from data. Comes from data. So we look at tools like Google Analytics, the analytics in our social media pages. Um, they all these things, they sort of tell a story, and that's what we want to
Yeah.
dig, dig deep, right? Because you always learn something new from this data. So when we found out that, okay, in the SaaS industry, outsourcing is really big because they need more developers, or they need more customer reps to talk to their customers to help
Mm-hmm.
them out. Then we found out, okay, that's actually something that we can do, that we can address. So we pivoted our content, our strategy to push out content, push out the messaging that, hey, you can actually do outsourcing for customer representatives, customer service representatives. So yeah, that data really is an important cog in the marketing machinery of Virtual.
Uh,
When I so I'm very, I think both of you know I'm very data driven as well.
yes, you are.
But when I look at
I'm
yeah,
surprised you're
yeah,
human.
yes. I think it's the training with the previous people that I work with. But when I look at data, it's always, sometimes I try not to take it at face value. Sometimes the immediate reaction is just to take it. Okay, it's going down. Whatever we're doing now, is it working? But really, it just tells you the story. And what I mean by that is sometimes it's not what you're doing that's bringing the numbers down. Sometimes it's something external, something
It could be
happening, for example, in the
trends,
US. That's
markets.
why,
Yeah.
yeah, right. So, I mean, what I would say, yes, be data driven so that you know where you're starting, and then you know where you want to go, and see what you're doing, what if what you're doing or any actions you're taking is actually working or not. But open your eyes up for other possibilities of why that needle is either moving up or down. Data is really to guide you. Because if you don't have data, like even doing dieting, right? If you don't use the scale, uh, it's just all feeling, and it's not very accurate. Like it's all feeling whether you're getting light or not, but because you don't go on the scale.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
use data
I
to
wish
guide
I
you.
wish there were other examples that we could have used, considering I'm not having a good relationship with my weighing scale at the moment. But hey, but hey, but yes, data driven.